Hi guys, very good morning to you. Welcome to the video number 195, and in this video we are actually going to talk about the MS Access. We are going to talk about the Access VBA. I'm going to teach you on the Access VBA, and this is a beautiful code which we are going to prepare. And of course I am going to upload this video because I have actually received a question from Lena, and she says that good day Ajay, hope you read my email. I congratulate you for your YouTube channel, and especially now you started uploading videos on Access VBA. Yeah, that's right. I have started actually uploading the videos because a lot of you actually have requested me in the past that you also want to see the Access VBA, how you can use the Access VBA to connect basically with the external applications. So guys, we have actually started a series. I'll just let you know in a moment. Let's first read out the entire message. A very nice and extremely useful stuff. I have a problem and it is related to Access. Every day I receive some employee IDs from my client, and I import them in Access. Now data is shared to me in Excel files, and then I import it in Access table. Because of different file name every day, I do it manually and really not liking it. I understand. I hate doing the manual stuff, right? We are here to automate everything, so don't worry, we'll see to it in just couple of seconds from now. Can you please let me and everybody know how we can automate this? Any way out that whatever Excel file I want to import to Access, I can do that easily. Maybe a button click. Well, everybody wants a button, right? Everybody wants to create a button in Excel or Access. This is the time. This is such a competitive world. Nobody really likes to sit and spend those hours, and I think that's why we use the programming, and that's why Microsoft actually they had foreseen everything long years back, that the time would come when people really hate to work on those junky things, all the steps again and again, and spending a lot of hours. So yes, we are going to create a button. Thank you so much for this. Your question is actually very valuable to me, and in fact it is going to be valuable for everyone who is going to watch this. So my all lovely subscribers, we're going to do it today something I would say that one of my a very I would say a code which I actually really never felt really so I mean I just loved this actually question, and trust me, when we're going to prepare this, you will love it. And I don't think so you would find this anywhere, right? Anywhere means anywhere, maybe on the Google or maybe on the YouTube channels, because this is going to be extremely Access VBA programming today, and we're gonna mix it up with the Excel also. So this is going to be fabulous, right? Eagerly will wait for your video. So there we go. Thank you so much, Nina. So let me just close this. I just really don't need that. All right, so I want to tell you first of all, so what she says, I think every day she gets some Excel files from client, maybe on the server or maybe on the email, I don't know, and then those files every day. For example, now today you have this file called a.xls, right? So if I open this file, let us say this is your file, okay? So now in this file you have some employee IDs, let's say, okay? And so what you do is you always run your query in the Access. If I talk about the front end, I mean you can basically write all those things, like you can import the data from the Excel, but this you have to do every time, right? You can also save the steps. I have shared that already a video on my playlist. By the way, let me quickly take you to this playlist, guys. This is a Connect MS Access with Excel. So 3 videos we have uploaded here, so you can watch. You will see that we have talked about only the Access VBA and how you can connect with the Excel using the Access VBA in the Access. And there is one more video which you can see here, which I was just talking about, that is also on the Access MS Access tables. Just click on this and you would see here a video that how to import Excel files and save steps. So this is extremely very useful video. Just go and watch that. This is going to save your time, provided your file is in the same location and the name is not changing. So you don't have to import the these files again and again. So go and watch that video. But in this case the scenario is different. The file is also changing, and who knows, maybe the the path is also every time, like it's on the desktop and maybe sometime let's say it is on the D drive, F drive, you know, and so we have so many things. So what we want to do is we want to import all these numbers. Basically that's actually you know, Lena actually talked about it. The next day, if this file is let's say b.xls, right, so you have to change the link. So you will not have to change the link, the code which we are going to prepare, right? That's the beauty of that program. And so let's go ahead and let's prepare this. Let me show you what exactly we want to do. So I have created this the form. Here you can see this is the command button. So let me click on this. All right, so okay, so I'm getting some error. Just give me a second. I think somewhere I'm using the double data, so just give me a second actually. Okay, let's just close this. All right, there we go. All right, so variable not defined. It's a completely miss. Actually I did. How could I do this? Just guys, give me a second. All right, there we go. So when you click on this button, so this is going to give you the pop-up. All right, so now in this pop-up you can go and select any Excel file, right? So that means that now you are not dependent upon any file. You don't have to change the name in the programming, or you don't have to go to the import and, you know, change the links every time. No, right? You just need to select this file, whatever you want. Now let's say I want on the desktop, and on the desktop I have this file. So I want this file to be imported on one of my table, right? The table is this compile table. I can show you. Let me just cancel this out, everything. Let's just cancel this out. Now look at this. I have created this table where I want to import every day, you know, when I get the data. So it goes here. So it's just a one column employee IDs I have written. So that's a compile table. You need to create it, just create it, right? And if you don't know how to create it, then you can go and watch all those series, you know, the videos on these tables, MS Access tables. You would understand it, right? But let me be very quick with you. Just go to the table design, create and table design, and here you're going to write it, let's say my ID list, whatever the header you want to write. Just keep it text, okay? The number, whatever you want. Number means they will be going to, you know, accepted as numbers only. Text means they can be accepted as text as well as the numbers in Access. So just close this, and you want to save the changes. When you say yes, you can give the name. I had given it a name called compile, right? So this is how the table is created. Now let's go to the next thing, which is the important thing. Let me just rerun this. There we go. Now the pop-up would come, and the pop-up, let's say I select this A file. Okay, and here now what I'm actually trying to do is I'm also trying to tell you that which sheet basically you need to select, because who knows in Excel, you know, which sheet you want to go. For example, in this Excel file which is open, let's say you want to go to the sheet 3 or sheet 2. Now sheet 2 and sheet 3 are empty, but maybe who knows in your Excel file, you know, it might be on, the data might be on different sheet. So that is also something I have already, you know, taken care of. I mean, you didn't ask me, but I thought let me just go ahead and, you know, fix this as well. So in this I have a sheet 1, as you know. So I just come back to the Access and I write here the type in the sheet position, put the number and click on the Excel. So I want to go to the sheet 1. I click OK, and now I have to go to the sheet and look at this. This is a wonderful pop-up which would come. Now this says that enter. So enter means you need to enter the range which you want to insert. So this is also, you know, I have made it dynamic. It's not that you will have to, every time when you run, then it is going to import, you know, fixed kind of a range that starts from some particular point and then that ends at some particular point. No, I'm going to give you, you know, you're the master of this database, so you can decide whatever you want to do. So I say that, all right, so what if I just want these entries to be inserted in that Access table, or maybe I want these 4, or maybe I want this. So whatever you want, dear ma'am, dear sir, you can select it from here. It's all for you, right? So I'm going to select, let's say, only these 3 items, A3 to A5. Just press OK, and there we go. Do you see anything? You didn't say anything, but let me click back on the compile table, and there we go. You got these 3 items, right? Wonderful. I hope you're loving this. As I said, that this is going to be very exciting and, you know, great video. I mean, great code actually, not really the great video. I don't know how you're going to take it, but yes, I'm going to give you a very good code today, Access VBA code actually. Now the next day, let's say you come and again you want to insert some more new employee IDs. So you click back and you click here, and now let's say I'm going to select another file, not a.xls. Let me select this file, right? Because I know this file has 3 sheets. So just click on this, open me. All right, so you see this open me, you don't see this in Excel, right? Generally you see here open only. So I have customized it, right? I'll let you know in just a second. So just click on this and there we go. So which sheet you want to go? So now you can click here and you can see that which sheet I want to go actually. So here also I have data, and here in this case I have the data on the third sheet, right? So basically it's on the numbering basis. You don't have to write the sheet name, just write the sheet index there. So I want to go on the sheet 3. So I'll just write here in the Access window 3. It is going to automatically going to take me on the sheet 3. So I just click OK, and the moment I click here you see that I'm on the sheet 3, right? Now you can select any of the range you want. So do you want this range to be imported? Do you want only this range? Do you want, I mean, whatever guys, whatever you want, just select that, right? Press OK, and there we go. Let me click back here and there we go. The data is actually imported. Isn't it exciting? I bet, right? This is really going to be an awesome code. One of my favorite videos, trust me. So let's quickly start, and I just wanted to give you the idea so that you don't feel like kind of getting bored that what I'm talking about. So I just wanted to give you the example that this is what we are going to today do, right? All right, so let's go ahead and let's prepare the VBA code. So I'm going to click on the Visual Basic, and I'm going to click on the module. This is my module, the module 5, and here we are going to write the code. Now before I do that, I want to tell you, let's let's make some plan over here. Let me just open the Excel, or maybe we can do one thing. We can just open the notepad. All right, what is the first thing you want to do? Now you see we are going to write everything in the Access window, Access VBA environment, right? So what is the first thing? Now you want to open the Excel. We are going to connect with the Excel. First of all, we will do that. Now to open the Excel, you will have to provide the Excel environment. Okay, Excel environment to your Access, so that Access VBA should understand, all right, so my user actually wants to interact with the Excel, and he's going to use the Excel, the Excel, all these the required, the applicable classes. Like for example, you see the pop-up box which was coming up, so that is called the file dialog, which is an Excel feature. So I'm going to open that file dialog class. So we are going to use this class. Okay, it is the Excel class. Okay, and then what is the next thing I want to do? The next thing which we want to do is we're going to provide some input box, okay, which is again the Excel, where user can actually select the range and sheet of her choice. You saw that, right? And afterwards, what is the next thing you want to do? The next thing you want to do is you want to run a loop to insert the selected cells, or I would say that selected range, which we are going to select. So that is going to be inserted into the table. To insert the selected range into the Access table, so for that we are going to use a loop called for each cell in range, right? And it is used with the next word. Now if you don't have any idea about this, trust me, I have uploaded a lot of videos on that. You can go to my the playlist, and you can find here VBA collection loops. Just go there, click on this, and you will see here every video talks about these, basically the collection loops. So go and watch that and you will thoroughly enjoy it, trust me, right? All right, so this is the plan. Now the first thing, if you look at it, I want to actually make my Access comfortable with the Excel. So what I am actually going to do is I'm going to go to the tools, and I'm going to check mark the Excel library, right? Because I want to work with the Excel library. So if you go ahead and watch my videos where I have connected the Access from the Excel, I have connected the Excel with the Access. So there in the Excel VBA, we have actually used the Access libraries, right? So this is exactly the same, but in just the opposite way. So go to the tools reference, and on your library here, this library you will have to on Microsoft Office 15.0, right? And make sure that you should also have this Microsoft Excel 14.0 on, right? So now these are the libraries which when you're going to click M, and you would see here Microsoft Office. These are the the libraries. So here because I have already actually activated it. So you would see on the top, right? So basically these are the libraries. I'm going to open it, right, because I'm going to work with the Microsoft Excel. So just click OK here, and let's write the first subroutine to import table. Let me just keep it simple. Okay, import maybe Excel to access table. Okay, this is what we want to do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare my Excel application. So this is how you declare it. I'm going to declare it as excel.application. Right now, how do you, when I press S, you see that this is the word is coming. So you would see this word only if you have this library on. Now let me just quickly go back and the reference, let me just uncheck this Excel library, and I'm going to come back here and write Excel library. Do you see that? You don't see that now. There is no Excel application coming out, right? So you have to on this. Now I know, in every video when I connect one application with another, I always try to educate you on this. So anybody who is watching my videos thoroughly, and they have seen all these 20-25 videos where we have talked about how to connect with the PowerPoint, with the Outlook, with the Access, you must be very frustrated. I understand that every time why I emphasize so much on these things, but I always wanted to actually start from the fresh, so that anyone who is going to watch this for the first time, he or she should actually understand it, right? So let me just quickly go to the Microsoft Excel, and there we go. So you just need to on this library, because this is responsible for your Excel environment. From here we are going to actually use this. So there we go. Excel.application set Excel equals to new Excel.application, and we are going to make it visible. So I'm going to write Excel.visible equals to true. Right now, let me show you what will happen. See this. There we go. Do you see that the Excel is open? This is your Excel, the blank, the blank Excel is open. So that's what this code is going to do, because you need, if you want, that any workbook which you are going to select from that pop-up, it should open. You have to first of all also, make that the code. You have to create that environment. Okay, so now let me just select the Access also. Okay, and just increase the height of this. Okay, now what is the next thing you want to do? So the next thing you want to do, guys, is very important. Let's give that the pop-up. So to give that pop-up, I have talked about that you are actually going to use this file dialog class. File dialog class is very important. It's actually the Excel class. So I'm going to write here FL as file dialog. This would automatically come because of your two references which you have selected here, right? These are two references, Microsoft Office and Microsoft Excel, right? So just select that, and this is how you're going to do that. FL equals to application dot file dialog, and which file dialog you want. Do you want it for the file picker, folder picker, open and save as? So we need the file to be open, right? So just select the first option. That's it, and there we go. So now what we want to do is basically we want that with FL. I'm going to write like this, end with. So I'm going to write all its methods actually which I can use with the file folder. So I want to give it a name called initial file name. I'll tell you, you must select Excel file. Okay, what is the next thing we want to do? I was talking about the button, if you remember. So basically you don't have to use the FL here because you are already putting everything in the with and end with. So I was talking about the button also. You can see here, this is the button name. You can give the button name also. So I can write, let's say, okay, let me write bye-bye, right? Okay, now what is the next thing I want to do? I want to show it, right? So this is how I'm going to show it. This is how you write show. Okay, now let's just run this quickly and then you will understand it. All right, there we go. All right, so the Excel application is opened. Now there we go. Initial button is you must select Excel file, and the button name is bye-bye, and there we go. You can see here that I see here select Excel file. The prompt is coming. This is called the initial, that the view name. And the moment I'm going to select any file, let's say I select this, you see that this button is converted to bye-bye, right? And I just have to click here and the file gets opened, right? So this is how we have done. So far so good. We are we are happy with this. The things are working in our favor. Now what is the next thing? So how are you going to actually get that file open? So to do that, you have to declare a variable. So we can declare the variable here on the top. Let's say dim m as or maybe file name as string, because it is going to be the string. So I'm going to write here file name equals to, so whatever the user opens, chooses that file from this file dialog, we actually must store it somewhere. So this is how you write dot selected items and just put the 1 here, right? So the name would come here. Now the file underscore name, this variable will hold that file name. And then what you want to do is, obviously you want to open that. So excel.workbooks open, this is what we are going to write, and you need to open the file, and so just write the file name. We have the complete path. This file name gives you the complete path, right? So once you have that opened, you can maybe further go ahead and write I guess then the next thing you want to, once the file is opened, you would like to see on which sheet you want to go, right? As I was talking about earlier. So you need to declare one more variable. So let's declare a variable called which sheet as long. Okay, so which sheet is going to be equals to excel dot input box. So I'm just going to write the input box, prompt, enter the, let's say, index of sheet. Okay, would you like to give any title? So let's say go to Excel once you enter number. Okay, that's it. I want to do this. You don't really have to provide this. I'm just trying to make it as informative as we can, but these are not, title is really not required. So the input box would come, and whatever the value we will have in the input box, we are going to use it in our sheet. So I'm going to write here excel dot sheets, whatever the sheet I have. So I can write it excel dot sheets, and I will write here which sheet. It is going to select that sheet for me. Okay, this is how you write. Okay, and once it selects the sheet, if you remember, let's just run it, and then we will understand it. And let me also save the code. Just save it. All right. Okay, there we go. So let's just, all right, so we have the button. So I'm going to select this, let's say A file. You see it's on my desktop. Just click here, and now what we have in the A file, you can see here, that's my complete desktop address, right? You have a file open. So this is what the file, I'm going to open it, and the file is open. You can see here in the background. Now this will give me the pop-up, which is the input box. So input box is basically, we use it to have the values from the user. So I want to be on the first sheet. Let's say go to Excel once you enter the numbers. That's what I was talking about. If you don't want to give it, you can keep it blank also, right? This is the input message, and enter the index of the sheet. I press OK, and now it is going to select that sheet. So the code ran, and let's see. So you can see here that I'm on the sheet 1. So this is what we have done so far. Now after you have on the sheet 1, what you need to do, you need to run a code that he can write that range in that input box, another input box, and then from there that should be imported, and that's it. So to do that, what you need to do is you're again going to insert one more input box, and I'm going to write here dim range select, let's say, as you can keep it as string. And so range select, what is the range select? What exactly we are going to do is, we are going to say that range select is going to be equals to excel dot application dot input box. Okay, and here you're going to write that select the range, and that's it. I don't need anything. So I just don't need the title. I don't need default left top. I don't need anything. Just in the last case, I'll write 8 here, which is my type. Okay, so why I have written here, what you can do is you can just quickly press F1, just select this and press F1, and you will be directed to your the VBA window, and I can of course I'm going to tell you, just give me a second, that why I have written 8. So basically 8 means that it is specifically going to be used for the ranges. You can see these are all the numbers for the input boxes, right? So whether you want in the input box you number, so if you write there as a type as 1, then nobody's going to, if they try to enter the text, you know, it is not going to work. The input box will not allow them to write any text form, right? So this 8 actually is for the range, because we want to select the range. So anything apart from the range, if you select there maybe a number or text, it will not allow you. So that's why actually we are writing here. And one more thing I want to tell you, you may have not noticed it, but I want to tell you because a long time back when I found this, I was so, you know, I was like jumping with the joy, because the thing is that I am using application.input_box, and here we have used only input box. Both have a big difference, right? If you want to restrict your user from entering something specific, as I was talking about this type, you know, then you always use this with the application, because the moment you write input box without input, without application, see what happens. You don't see any word here after the context. There's no type word, there's no type parameter. But the moment you fix this with the application dot input box, now you don't see the input box here because of the reason that this is the Access environment. So I'm going to write here Excel is my Excel. I have declared on the top, you know, dim Excel as Excel application. Now I'll write it. But in the, if you go ahead and write the same code in the, you know, Access VBA, then you don't have to write Excel, because there it is already understood that you are on the Excel sheet, right? Now if I show you this, look at this. Now this type is in another extra parameter. So whenever you want to set up your input box, you know, with this kind of a restriction that he can't choose text, or he can't write there, not choose, but he can't write text, or he can't write a number, or, you know, apart from selecting the range, he can't do anything else. So you always can give those types, specific types, right? So far this is what we have done. And now the next thing we want to do is, so here I will select the range. So let's say I selected A1 to A8. Now what is the next thing? That is a very important thing, right? So the next thing which we are going to do is, we are going to write here dim my cell. I'm going to run the collection loop now, which is my last thing. Range, you declare it as a range. This is what exactly we want to do. Let me show you my run a loop, right? Because now we want to insert those all selected cells which user is going to select, right? So for that we need to make a loop. So dim my cell and dim let's say full range as range. Again, these are my own variables, so you can declare your name as well. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to say that this for each my cell n. Okay, now n, what I want is, I want that in the range. So what is my range? I don't know. Every time it will change, right? Because user can select anything. So this is the variable I'm going to select, right? And you don't need this line. That's fine. Just keep it like this, because range select will give me, let's say if you have selected A1 to A2, then this is going to give me that A1 to A2, right? So I click on the next, and so now here we are going to, what we are going to write, we are going to declare our record set, which is again a very important line. So what you will do, you will define here your record set. Record set means a table or whatever, I mean a table or query, you know, get it open. So in this case, this is how you write DAO. DAO is a technology which we use in the Access. So I'm going to write record set and set my record set equals to. So basically in this I'm going to write current database, which is DB, and we want to open it. So I want to open this record set, which is the name is called the compile, right? This is how you write. So what will happen, this current database, by default it is considered as a database, this current Access database, it will open this table, which is the compile name. And let me delete everything from here. Yes, I want to delete it. All right, so now what is the next thing we want to do? You see, in this case, now for each cell, for each my cell means that your one by one every cell is going to be covered. if you have selected A1 to A3, then it means that this loop is going to run 3 times, right? So every time it runs, we want to first of all, in our record set, which is a compiled database, I'm going to add something new, right? Because we want addition. So once I get that rs.add_new, which is a method, then I will say that the next thing which I want to do is I go in the field, you write the field name here. I think the field name is my ID. We'll just have a look on that. Dot value equals to my cell dot value. A1, if your range is A1 is to A3, then that means A1 value is going to be inserted in this the table, which is rs, which means compile, because we have defined it here, and under that the header is my ID. It's employee IDs actually. So we will have to change this. We'll have to make it employee IDs. All right, now what is the next thing you want to do? So once it inserts it, you have to update it, otherwise you will not be able to see it. So this is how you update it, right? And that's it. I think this is going to finish off this code, and then you can also do one thing, just to quit this. So we are going to say that excel.application.quit. okay, we want to quit this, and then set your rs equals to nothing. The record set, I mean, we are just going to remove that, and set your fl also equals to nothing, which is your file dialog class. So I think this is fine. We can run this and we can see here, right? Let's do the F8 mode and let's go ahead. All right, there we go. All right, so this will display the dot show will display that this pop-up which we always use in Excel to save the file or to open the file. So I'm going to select that the file called, let's say, this A. I click here and there we go. Now you can see here that file name has got my file name with the complete path. So this is the file I'm going to open. The file is open in the background. Now which sheet? Obviously this input box here is going to ask me which sheet. So you can also check the sheet, I mean, just in case if you don't remember, and it is very difficult. Obviously I understand every time you have a new sheet coming from the client, and you will have to see which sheet you have a data. Otherwise, if by default you always get on the one sheet, then you don't have to even click on this Excel. This is going to save your time, right? So I'm going to try to tell you, from all the perspectives. Any situation can come. I really don't know what exactly your situation is, so I'm trying to make this program in a way that all of your almost every issue which you have depending upon your data can be sorted out. So I'll just write 1, and because I have to go to the sheet number 1. Now there we go. Now which sheet? That this one is going to be used in this which sheet variable, and I just press F8 and the sheet is going to be selected. Now this will give me the the pop-up. I executed this and you see that Excel is highlighted. So basically you have that select the range, right? Now if I write something here and press OK, this will give me the error because you have used the type 8, if you remember. So that is always specific for the range, right? It could be one cell or it could be multiple cells. So let's say we need only these 3 items: Coke, Pepsi and Din, right? So I just press OK, and okay, so we got the error here, type mismatch, right? Let's just check. All right, so what is the error? Range select is okay. I guess it should be range. We shouldn't declare it as a string. Let me just let's quickly rerun this. I'm going to put the break code here. Okay, it has to be range because you're selecting the range. Actually, let me just close this. Okay, by the way, I really love when I get to see the errors. Whenever I make the program, trust me guys, I feel like personally that I should get some error actually, because from that errors you are able to, when you're able to sort out the things, when you finally know that why the error was coming, then it always you always remember those things, right? Your concepts towards the programming that becomes much clearer, and this is the way you learn actually. So I never run away from the errors, and this I have been saying a lot in my all the videos. So if you get the errors, no problem, just look at the error and then Google it, or maybe take any help, whatever the possible help you can take, and do the research. Don't apply the shortcuts, right? Don't just approach somebody and just ask him to do, you know, that basically, I mean, somebody comes and they sort out your things, and without telling you, without educating you, no, that's not the way. When you even doesn't matter, you want to be a programmer, you want to be in analytics field or not, but whatever you're doing, you should understand it. You should at least have a, you know, a little idea about that, what the error was coming and how you actually or the person, you know, dealt with it. So let me quickly run this again. We don't have to run it again on the F8 mode. So I select this file, there we go. I write here 1, and now this is again going to give me the pop-up. Let's see that if we got the pop-up. Okay, so I selected this range, which is Coke and Pepsi. Let's just press OK. Okay, so we are saying, oh, my mistake, terrible mistake. It says that object variable or with block variable not set. You haven't used actually the set word. You have to use the set word actually, set, because it is the object, it is the class you are using, right? So this variable range underscore dot select, this is basically my, this, you know. Okay, so select the range again. So I'm going to select the range. So there we go. Let me select again the same, Coke and Pepsi. Press OK. And there we go. All right, we sorted it out. Great. Okay, so now as you know that I'm going to open this compile table because we want to insert the record. So this is what exactly is going to happen, and you can see here now this range select. If I show you this range select, it does it mean anything? So where is that entry which I have selected, A2 to A4? So basically to do that, what you need to do is you need to put here dot address. Okay, dot address means that it is going to give you the address. You can see here now, if I hover, it says A2 to A3, and this is what exactly you have selected here, if you remember, right? So we're going to run this now. In this range, what is the first value? You can see here it's Coke, which is going to be inserted into employee ID header, which is the header of my table. Table is rs means that compile, because you have declared here as set rs, right? So it is going to update it. All right, what is the next thing? This is the last time the loop should run, because we have selected only 2 items, which is Coke and Pepsi. So Pepsi selected, there we go, and there we go. Now Excel application is going to quit. You see that in the background there is no Excel application, and my variables are going to be now, you know, they are gone. All right, so let's have a look. Let me double click here, and there we go. You got them inserted. Very nice. All right, so now again let's go ahead and let's go to this form 4. By the way, if you don't know how to, I have created that form. You can see my previous videos as well, but it's very easy. What I did is I just created here form. I went to the form design, and when you get this, I created a button. Let's say this button I'm going to create here. Let me just create it here, this button. Give it a good color and good naming, everything. Just cancel this out, and you can write the name here, that importing files. Okay, so once you have selected that, just select this in the design mode and go to the property sheet, this, or maybe you can press F4, whatever suits you, and on the click under this event tab we have to write the program. So here I'm going to write here code builder, right? So when this command 0, the you know, the basically this this button is called the command 0, as you can see here on the top, right here, command 0. Maybe you can change this name, that's all up to you. Let's say I'm going to change this to CMD Ajay, let's say, right? Try to give it a good name, obviously. I mean, or maybe you can say CMD import, right? So now when you're going to come back on this event and just click here, you see that now it is not command 0, but it is actually CMD import. So in this way it helps you in recognizing the things, that this button would be what. But because, you know, when you have a lot of command buttons inserted, then command 0, command 1, 2, 3, that doesn't make any sense, right? If you have written something like this, command import, so anyone, you know, who is going to read out your code, or maybe tomorrow you come after a long break, you would understand, all right, so this button actually was for this purpose. So that is the reason that people, the good developers, the good programmers, they always give the good naming convention, whether it is your macro name, whether it is your module name, or whether it is your any form control. Okay, so we want to call this the macro which we have written here. What is the macro name? That's my macro name. I'm going to select this, Control C, You can also directly write this entire code there, not a problem. I mean, if you want to do that, just cut and paste it, but I'll just keep it like this only. Okay, so when I'm going to click this, this will come, and if you don't know call word, then call means that is going to run that macro. It is going to be on that macro, right? I can show you. Let me put the break code here. So this is what we have done. Let's come back to the form view, and there we go. The moment I click here, you see that because I clicked, this event is going to fired, and now I'm going to run this F8, and there we go. So the entire Excel will run now. So let's just click here, F5, and let's say now let's choose some another file, maybe dummy file. Okay, so dummy file, where is the dummy file? Let me press D, because in the dummy file I want to show you, I want to go on the third sheet, right? Because first sheet you don't have any data, so I just open it, and there we go. Now if you don't remember it, I told you that just you can click on the Excel, there's no problem. So I want to go on the new data, which is on the third position. So I click back on my Access and I write here 3, I press OK, and now you can see this Excel started popping up. Just click on this and select the range. So we need, let's say, all these items, okay, or maybe let's say we need all these items. I select this. So what will happen, the next time the loop will run for each cell in a range called A1 to B9. So then A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, one by one, every record is going to be inserted in that table. Okay, so all right, so we have a error here, method range of object failed. Let me just click on this debug. Is failed. All right, so this is they say that this is not the correct method. We have to see what is the problem. So let me select this range. This entire variable is giving me the correct range. So just one second, let me fix it with Excel dot range. Okay, yeah, there we go now. So right, it's actually, you know, basically we are not writing everything on the Excel VBA. It's not Excel environment, so it's basically a new environment for the Access, right? So that's why prefixing it with Excel always ensure that, you know, that this is always going to be considered with the range, with the Excel range, right? So let me just quickly go ahead and run this. Let me press F5, and there we go. Everything is fixed now. So let's have a look. All right, there we go. We have got all the items, right? Wonderful, right? So just one time more I want to run, and then I think we are perfect with this. So let's just click on the import file. All right, so this I don't need it. Let me reset it. I don't want the break code now. Let's just run it like this. All right, there we go. And so select, let me select any other file. Maybe I want to select this test XLSM. All right, there we go. Now, all right, so I want to update it. Let's say, yeah, update it, not a problem. Okay, and so which sheet you want to go? So you want to go to the sheet, you have so many sheets here, so you can choose whatever sheet. Let's say sheet 11, right? So sheet 11 actually is my first sheet. Remember, you don't have to write sheet 11 there, you just need to write the index. So I'm going to write here 1, and I can show you one more thing. Let's say I'm on the sheet 1 right now, this time, right? But this sheet 1 is a name, right? But the index of this sheet is 3. That you should not be confused in this, right? So the moment I write 1 and press OK, and I go back to the Excel, see this, automatically the sheet 1 is selected, right? Because I want to provide the range, so I provide this range. Let's say PowerPoint VBA PowerPoint presentation, this all that. This is my old video actually, which I have uploaded 6-7 videos, how to connect the PowerPoint with the Excel. So just press OK here, and things should work fine. All right, so all done, and there we go. You have all the tables. Right, so that's it. This is the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed this. The code, it's extremely very beneficial. I know it's it's coming out like from the real environment from a subscriber who actually works on Access a lot in Excel. So that's the code for you, and I can do one thing for you quickly. Let me just remove all these unwanted spaces, but you always try to give the space because your code should also look readable, but just for you I'm just removing the space so that you can pause the video and you can see that what exactly we have done here, right? So this is the code, and that's it. I guess you can see the code now. The entire code is there, right? And yes, you can put all these things like, you know, we can declare it on the top. Let me just cut this and I can declare it here in one line also. Then you don't have to use the dim word. So this is also going to save you a lot of time. So let me just cut this as well, and I'm going to put it here as well. Just remove the dim part. And similarly, I mean, you can declare this Excel as well. I mean, a lot of things you can do basically. So just declare this as well, cut this and put it here. Okay, just remove the dim word, because when you write everything in one line, then you don't have to write the dim again and again. Just use the comma. So I think this is going to save a lot of time now. There we go. Alright, so I hope this is going to be extremely beneficial for you guys, and let me know what you think about it. I'll come up with now some more exciting stuff very soon. Till then, you please enjoy your code and have a very happy learning. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're watching this for the first time. And this video will be available on this the playlist called Connect, you know, this Excel with the MS Access, which I was telling you, right? So just go to that playlist, and you can watch all those amazing rest of the videos as well. So I'll see you in my next video. Until then, you take care of yourself. Thank you so much. Bye bye.